When I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and it was a scary time for everyone involved, including myself, because I, of course, didn't understand anything what was going on, or nor did my parents at that time, actually. But we, of course, got the normal sort of food recommendations or few food schedules that you get even today if you are newly diagnosed as type 1, which then means a lot of carbs, 60% carbs with every meal, or 45 to 60 grams. And if you touch fat, you might die on the spot. Because this was in the 1985, so the low-fat era was on haywire, crazy big at that point. So fat was really dangerous. Protein, yes, it wasn't talked about much. This went on for about 26 years. And I was, of course, I got increasingly sicker and sicker. I needed more insulin. I had like hypertension at the age of nothing. Things started to, I felt fatigued and tired and just, I didn't have any joy in life or any zest of life at all. I just felt really bad the whole time. And of course, because my blood sugar was doing this the whole time, but I was told that that was normal. This is what type 1 diabetes does. Right. I've tried so many, or back then I tried so many insulin types, and I swapped everything around, and I tried to eat different whole grain foods and different skim milks, because it could be something like that, because they couldn't, of course, have given me the wrong advice. that was not even heard of. And so my turning point came after many years of struggling, was when I studied to become a nutrition coach or health coach. And my teacher pointed me out when we were talking about carbs and insulin and how that works in the body. And my teacher pointed me out, and he's like, you know what, Hanna, you don't even make insulin. You have none. You have to add all of it externally. And I would really think once and twice about what I eat if I were you. And I'm like, I think that was my exact face. I'm like, what? How can this be? How can I have been lied to for 26 years at that point, since I was 2 until I was, well, then 28 or something, and I just felt, I was so angry, and I felt cheated, and I felt like I was hating quite hard on the medical community at that point because of it. It was just basically caused me to mistreat myself and my condition for that long. So I gradually started lowering the amount of carbs that I ate. First stop was a liberal paleo approach, and I noticed straight away what amazing things it did to my blood sugar as soon as I removed a little bit of carbs. And then I went a little bit further down, and then a little bit further down, and then a little bit further down. And today, then 6 years later, I am on a ketogenic way of eating. I don't want to call it diet because that's a temporary thing. Has come to be. And that is the way of eating that absolutely fits me the most and the best, and the one that helps me to maintain normal-ish blood sugars, at least at most times, and a very healthy A1C level. And it's the one thing that has really helped me almost the most in my journey to become a healthier person.
Okay. What are your A1C levels?
5.2.
Awesome.
Latest. So that's well within the healthy range. Yeah. It's not as cool as some other people that I know, but it's not a competition, and I'm very happy at 5.2. That way I can still enjoy life very, very much and not have to sacrifice more than I already am.
Yeah. Well, I'm jealous. It's better than mine.
Is it really? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
I'll get there. I will. So how did you come to create the low carb universe?
That it started with a clinically insane idea. My colleague and co-founder Bitte and I were on the low carb cruise in the Caribbean, and we were maybe feeling a little jet lagged and tired from the travel over there. And we're like, why doesn't this exist in Europe? Like big conferences with the biggest names and the big experts within the low carb world, why doesn't that exist in Europe yet? So we're like, we're gonna do it. Then it's sort of planted a seed in both of us, and we're like, and then we kept on reminding each other a while, like, yeah, we should really do that though. And then the day after, we asked a few of the experts there, like Dr. Westman, Dr. Gerber, and Jim Moore, and all these people, that if we organize something similar-ish in Europe, would you be there to support us and share your vast knowledge with us? And they're like, of course we would, which was a huge surprise and relief at the same time. And then we started looking for the perfect place and found that to be Puerto de Soller in Mallorca. Quite a gorgeous background.
Yeah.
And this hotel is, very special. It's not a classic conference hotel. It's a very individual, and there's a lot of little places where you can have workshops, and so we basically created the event that we've been missing ourselves.
Okay. Awesome.
And on that road we will continue.
Great. So what are your plans for the future?
Oof, you'll just have to wait and see. No, we will definitely do more events. We have a goal of, this will always be the home of the low carb universe, but maybe we'll dab into different places in the future, and we'll see.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you think people need to know?
Yes, I think it's very important that every person who is ready and willing to control their diabetes finds their own way. Low carb, absolutely, that is a great starting point, but there's so many other things that you can do to supplement that. And a ketogenic approach is not the right one for everyone, but it works for a lot of people, and you have to find your own threshold sort of in how many carbs you thrive on and still feel good on and can control your blood sugars. I also think it's very important that in finding your own way, it doesn't necessarily have to be what the healthcare professionals tell you that it is. So you have to be a little adventurous and take your health into your own hands sometimes, which is scary, but in many cases very necessary.